Hi everybody and welcome to Fab Hacks. I'm Rosemary and thanks for stopping by. Today I have a Christmas Trash to Treasure that will be part 1 of the series. They are Hobby Lobby inspired little rustic houses. One says Farmhouse Christmas with a 3D wreath and the other has a painted wreath and says Joy. Although these are Hobby Lobby inspired, they are made from something that millions of people all around the world throw out every day. But what in the world could that be? Cardboard cartons. You know the kind that milk or half and half or lemonade or other beverages come in. Even Hungry Jack potatoes come in these little cartons. They come in different sizes from pint to quart to half gallon, so you can make large, medium, and small variations of this craft. The first I'm going to make is the little Farmhouse Christmas with a 3D wreath. To start, I took a half-gallon container and I removed the lid, but I'm going to hold that aside because that's actually going to be used in a upcoming DIY. And then I just opened up the top of the container. And now I'm going to remove that little plastic spout on the one side there. And so to do that, I kind of just pressed down around it and kind of got my nails in between the two edges there, and then you just kind of push it and pull it out, and just be careful because it can rip the cardboard. So if you're just careful, it'll just pop right out and you'll be able to remove it easily. When saving containers for future projects, my suggestion would be to do this step as soon as you are done with the contents. So for example, when you're finished with the milk, open up the container and wash and rinse and just store like this until you're ready to use. So you can make sure it's clean and you don't have any unpleasant surprises. When the container is open, you can still see the creases in a triangle formation. So what I did is I just went and took a pair of scissors and cut along that crease all the way through to the top of the carton. And then I just repeated the process on the other side. Now I'm just going to take those flaps and fold them in and then reattach the top of the carton, and you'll see how it makes a little house shape. Now before gluing everything in place, you may want to add some weight to the bottom of the carton, especially if it's going to be in a place where it could easily be knocked over. And so I just added some of these river rocks from the Dollar Tree, just glued them in and put like 2 or 3 in to hold it down. Now I'm going to just secure everything back in place with the hot glue. So I just take that little triangular flap and pull it down and put some glue along the edges there. Then again, I refold the carton, this time with the flap out, the little triangular flap out, and then adhering it to the sides. And you'll see it on the other side a little better as to where the flaps were when I secured the triangle to the side. So from this side you can see it a little better. So the 2 flaps go behind the triangle, the glue is going to go on the edges, and then those flaps just kind of fold one on top of the other, and then the glue gets adheres to those sides. And then I just went back with some hot glue along the top and secured it there. So this is what the carton should look like once all the sides have been glued in place. And then it was ready to paint, and I used some of this ultra matte white spray paint, but you could also use brush paint as well. For the little tin roof, I used these cookie sheets from the Dollar Tree. I used scissors to cut all around the edges since I only wanted that bumpy part in the middle. Then I took a ruler and I measured across 4 inches because I wanted to create a 4-inch strip of the foil. Once my 4-inch strip was cut, I just placed it on the roof and folded it around. I did leave a little bit of an edge on this side, which you'll see in a second, but then I just put it on the roof and then just kind of pinched it on the top to create that little roof line. And here you can see on the side, I left it with a little bit of a lip on the edge. And here it is if it was just flush. I decided that I did like the little lip on the end versus just a flush cut, but there's another option of what it would look like if you wanted to go with a cleaner cut. I then used some hot glue to attach the tin roof to the top of the carton. To make the barn doors, I just took my ruler and marked off the 3-inch line. And then I just centered it there, eyeballed it on the carton. I didn't want to sit there and do all the math, but just eyeballing it was fine. And then I just marked each edge of the 3 inches and then the midpoint of the 3 inches, which would be 1.5 inches. And then I just took my ruler again and then measured up 3 inches and made marks there at the top of the 3 inches on each side. And then I just took my ruler and I connected all of the marks. To make the X of the barn door, I took my ruler and just drew a diagonal line from corner to corner on each door and then reversed it and did corner to corner on the opposite angles. To do the Farmhouse Christmas lettering, I took this printout from my computer, and I will have a link in the description box. And then I just cut it out. Just so you know, you may have to scroll down to get to this particular printout where I link the printouts, because I can't figure out how to make this one pop up to the top, but in case I don't have it fixed by then, that's what you'll need to do, but it'll be there. And then I just placed the printout above the barn doors and went in with a pencil then and just scribbled along the back. I started here just going on the F. I usually do that for the larger letters, but since this is a smaller printout, I just went back and just scribbled over the top. And that's all you need to really do, is just scribble over the top for both words. And this is how it comes out. And I found that I can do this with just regular paper. I don't need to use wax paper or anything. It will work with regular printer paper. Now this does give a more weathered look, and that would be great if that's what I was going for, but I will be going over this with a Sharpie. But before I do that, I went back with a paint marker to do the tracing of the barn doors. Now, because I was hasty and again did not let that dry, it did smudge. So I had to go back and paint that white again and let that dry. So in the meantime, I decided I would just go ahead and make my little 3D wreath. And I just took a piece of pine. This is just from a Dollar Tree wreath. I just cut 2 pieces off and just folded them around in a half circle and then put the 2 pieces together, and I created the little wreath. And then I just applied some hot glue and attached it in place. Now I'm going to do the lettering with the Sharpie marker. And then I went back to finish the doors, learning my lesson to let each line dry before moving on to the next. Then I took my paint marker and just outlined around the roof line. finally, to add a little galvanized effect to my tin roof, I took a little medium gray paint and a piece of a plastic shopping bag and just dabbed it all around to give the roof an aged galvanized look. And then a little dry brush distressing finished the piece. And there's the finished project. To make the little joy house with the painted wreath, I took one of these Hobby Lobby scrapbook papers, as well as another half-gallon carton that I had prepared the same way as the other. Then I marked the outline of the carton with a pencil and cut it out. I then used Mod Podge to attach the cutout to the surface of the milk carton. I then took this Joy printout, which again I will link in the description box, and then proceeded to cut it out so that I could center it and place it better. And then I also took this paint can lid, spray paint can lid, because that's going to be the marker for where I'm going to put the wreath. And then I just took the pencil and outlined the word Joy, or scribbled on the back of the word Joy to transfer the print. And this is how it comes out, and because I do want a more distressed look for this one, I will not be tracing this with a marker. Now I'm tracing a circle around the paint can lid. I then took Waverly chalk paint in ivory, celery, and moss. And beginning with the celery, I began to make little marks with my paintbrush, little dabby type marks all the way around the circle. Once that was complete, I went back with the moss-colored paint and did the same process. Lastly, I used the ivory paint to just go and make little circle berries all the way around the wreath. Once the wreath was completely dry, I took some more Mod Podge and applied a thin layer over the top. Now I'm going to hot glue on the roof the same way I did before. Then again, using the piece of plastic shopping bag, I went back over the roof with some of the gray paint to give it a galvanized, aged look. And then finally, a little bit of the gray paint on a dry brush to complete the project. And there it is all together. Well, I hope you have enjoyed this Christmas Trash to Treasure Part 1 and the Hobby Lobby inspired little farmhouse Christmas houses made from cartons. If you like the video, please remember to give a thumbs up, and please share with any family and friends you think might also enjoy this video. If you have any questions or suggestions, please leave those in the comments below, or just to let me know which one was your favorite. If you're not yet a subscriber, please consider subscribing. We'd love to have you join the family. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.